How's it going, everybody? My name is Silver and welcome back to another little vlog video. I'm just going to have a quick chat with you guys about what's been going on over the past few days, and it's just going to be a chill one. Please stick around if you would like to hear what's been up with me. Like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Anyways, let's get right into it. So I was admitted to hospital for the 4th time in about the past... Well, I've been going practically every month at this point. I went in on the evening of Saturday. I have been dealing with an irregular heartbeat, heart arrhythmia, or AF, or atrial fibrillation, if you want to call it. Over the past few months, it's been happening 2 to 3 weeks every now and then. My doctor or my cardiologist prescribed me to take my medication daily, as instead I was taking it when I was having an attack. I was taking my medication daily and it was working for me most of November, but then on Saturday night I took my medication for the 2nd time in the evening and I started going into AF about half an hour later anyways, and I was like, that really shouldn't happen after I've taken my medication. I should have called an ambulance right then and there, but I stuck it out for about 2 hours. I thought I was able to get a hold of it and control it, because the last time it happened, I was able to do that. I had about 3 weeks ago, I had a very slight bit of AF, but I did a bit of breathing exercises and I just chilled out and I managed to stop it before it like fully properly started. But this was not the case this time. It's kind of hard to describe this feeling. You know how you're kind of sort of always able to feel your heartbeat, like it's just kind of there. When the AF is happening, like it's quite noticeable, like you can feel like an extra beat, or like bup, 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 like it's all over the place. So it makes me feel anxious. It's not very nice. And when it's a particularly bad one, I get head spins. Like, you know when you crouch down and you get up too fast and you get a little bit of like a head rush, like a dizziness? On Saturday night, I was immediately getting head spins. I had about 4 of them and I was like, okay, that's not very good. I should call an ambulance at this point. So it was about 3 in the morning by the time I called an ambulance. They arrived quite promptly and I told them my issues and they were like, yep, we're going to hospital. So that was cool. Arrived at hospital. They actually decided to take me to Charlie Gardner's, which is interesting that they decided to do that, because Charlie Gardner's is not a hospital that I've been to before. I'm just going to lower my audio just a little bit here because it seems like we're peaking. Okay, I've been messing around with my mic settings like crazy. I'm trying to figure it out. I swear to God. Okay, that sounds good. Anyways, continuing the story. The ambulance took me to Charlie Gardner's. Now, they are the heart specialist guys. I think something about it that in Perth. The cardiologist that I saw at Mounts Bay actually works at Charlie Gardner's as well. So maybe it was just a coincidence that they took me there, or maybe they took me there because it was specifically a heart issue that I was having. I don't know. Either way, turns out it's good that they did take me there, because yeah, I arrived at hospital and wasn't having a good time most of the evening, was still in AF. The next morning, my dad came around and visited me. I think it was about 10 or 11 in the morning, and I was still having head spins and dizziness. The nurses would come in and check on me every time I had one, because guess what? This head spinning, this dizzy feeling, it turns out that is my heart stopping for about a second. So that's interesting to know. I've had several of these head spins and this weird feeling. It doesn't happen every time I have one of my attacks, but it happens, you know, when it's a particularly bad one, I said. So yeah, that's good to know. Pretty yikes. So the nurses were understandably worried about that, and they were like, okay, you're scheduled for an ablation. We're gonna go on ahead and move that up to tomorrow. And I was like, oh, sick. So I've been in the line for this procedure since about August. I have to go through the public health system because I do not have the dollar bills for private. So yeah, they pushed up my ablation and I was like, okay, that's cool. They told me later in the afternoon, they were like, hey, we know you're still in AF, but we're actually not going to do anything to get you out of it, because when we do the procedure, we're going to have to induce it anyways. so we're just going to leave you like this. And I wasn't really keen when they told me that, because, you know, I wanted to tell them, be like, hey, like, it's been happening since last night and I haven't slept and I would really, so that wasn't very nice. But thankfully my dinner arrived at about 5 o'clock. It was some fish with a white sauce and some broccoli and some carrots. And as I was finishing off my dinner and having dessert, a little bit of ice cream, very nice, I managed to get out of it. The power of ice cream, my dudes. The power of ice cream saved me from going crazy. I don't know what would have happened if I was still in AF all night and didn't sleep, but I don't have to think about that because I got myself out of it. So that was cool. Got myself out of AF. I got a little bit of sleep that evening. I am a very light sleeper, and the nurses also come and check up on you at 2 in the morning to do your obs, like do your blood pressure and stuff, so that doesn't help when I'm, you know, not sleeping anyways. But yeah, so had a decent evening. The next morning, Monday, the nurse comes around. I think once again, time was relative. I was losing my mind in that place. I think it was about 10 or 11, and she says, hey, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your procedure is going to be pushed back to tomorrow, so we're going to have to keep you another night. And I was like, ooh. So yeah, by that point, they had given me a telemetry. It was a mobile, like little square box with all the electric shit that was hooked up to my chest, so I was able to get up and walk around, and I was still connected to the heart tracking machine, which was very nice. By this point, I felt fairly normal and alright, so that was cool. Spent the rest of Monday just hanging out. I had a few visitors, the parents of a friend of mine, and also my mother came and gave me some more stuff. So that was cool. Monday went by, and finally it was Tuesday, the day of my procedure, and I was like, okay, let's go, dude. Can you see me at like 9 or 10? It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon by the time they sent me through, and you also have to fast and not eat before this procedure. So I spent the whole day not eating anything. I was able to drink a little bit of water, little sips here and there, but there you go. So, you know, the doctor finally came around at 3 o'clock, and it was the heart cardiologist guy that I saw at Mounts Bay. He was like, hey, Chris, last time I saw you was in August, and I was like, yeah. And, you know, he was like, do you need me to explain the procedure? I'm like, no, I'm good, dude. You explained it well enough last time. You charged me $500 for that appointment, by the way, but whatever. So, yeah. They take me through to surgery. I first meet with the anesthetist, and he tells me, have you ever been under general anesthetic? And I was like, no. And he was like, okay, this and this can happen, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, sick. That sounds cool. That wasn't too much of an issue. I was a little bit, it was cold in the hospital, but also I think I was nervous, so I was like shivering a little bit. I wasn't super keen, but I think I was all right. They let me walk, excuse me. They let me walk through to the surgery room. I get up from my bed. Surgery table, all these apparatus and things around. Heaps, like there was at least 9 or 8 people in there in the surgery room. It was wild. But yeah, so they lie me down on this table. I'm fairly cold. This dude puts a warm blanket over me. I'm like, that's better. And he was like, oh, don't worry, it gets better. There's hot air that comes out from under the table, which was really nice. So that warmed me up as well. The first thing they do is they tell me, okay, we're going to put some numbing stuff on your arm, and we're going to put another catheter in your arm right about here. So I already had one needle here. I had another needle in my hand here. The scar is still here. This one was the worst. It was really painful. And I had that in my hand since Monday night. So that one sucked the most. But yeah, they put this one in here, and even through the numbing or whatever they did, I still felt that one going in, and that one was pretty painful too. But they need a line into my artery to be able to see what my blood pressure is doing while I'm in the procedure. So they do that, and I was like, okay, sick. And then they were like, okay, here comes the good stuff. And I'm like, yeah, cool. The dude puts an oxygen mask on me, and I just breathe for a few seconds. He's like, just relax. And then I am gone. I am dead to the world. Very glad that I wasn't able to feel anything. I woke up a few hours later. I went in at 3 and I woke up at about 6. Yeah, so I'm on a sort of a plastic mat. I can feel my sweat and it's a little bit sticky, and I'm just like, you know, I was a little bit out of it when they woke me up, but I quickly sort of came to. The nurses cleaned me up a little bit. They moved me to the side and they pulled the mat out and got it out the other side, and then they cleaned me up a little bit. I was covered in this orange gel. I'm not sure what the gel was for, but it was pretty gross and it was all over my legs. The nurses told me I have to keep my right leg fairly straight and still because that's where they went in. So the ablation, I haven't actually explained, is basically they stick this electric probe in your femoral artery in your leg, and it goes, it's like the lower leg near the groin, so very nice. Yeah, so they stick this electric sort of probe in there and it goes up your arteries. What I was interested to know is, you know, they stick this cable in you, but where do they know it's going? Like, how do they know where it's going? Well, it turns out they use something called fluoroscopy. They have a small x-ray machine above the table, and they're able to see where this cable is going with x-rays, I guess, and they have like a real-time view of where it's going, so that's pretty interesting. Once again, the procedure gives me the absolute heebie-jeebies, so I didn't want to know what they were doing, but it was nice to know anyways. But yeah, so this probe goes up my artery to my heart, and on the end of this probe is this little thing. It uses electrical energy, not heat energy, and they find the part of my heart that's doing the wrong thing, where this electrical signal is going wrong, and they zap around the sort of ventricle or the hole or something of the heart, and basically this electrical energy scars the heart, which is, you know, it is what it is. It's not, this is a part of the heart that's fairly inert on the other side or whatever. So they zap around there, and when this bad electrical signal is going down, it can't travel through scar tissue. So this bad electrical signal just stops there, and that's how it works. And now, hopefully, I won't have to worry about this issue because it's all fixed. I have heard a horror story of a friend of mine who had to go for 3 ablations before they finally fixed it. I could not imagine, bro. So yeah, with any luck, I won't have to worry about this anymore. But yeah, that was my trip to the hospital. Everything was fine after surgery. They were like, hey, no issues, everything worked out pretty well, and they let me go the next morning. Yeah, so very exciting. That was my trip to hospital. The next day, I am on some medication for the next few months. I have to take a blood thinner for 2 months, and I have to take magnesium tablets for 2 days. Yesterday, when I took my blood thinner in the morning, I was pretty fucked up for about 2 hours. I felt very nauseous, I had a headache, and I wasn't having a good time. I took the blood thinner again this morning, as well as my magnesium tablet, and thank the gods I don't feel like shit today, so that's good. The blood thinner is just there because apparently there's a small chance of a blood clot forming in my heart as it's getting used to this new system, so the blood thinner reduces the chances of that. I just have to be careful while I'm on this blood thinner. If I cut or bruise myself, it's going to bleed profusely, and bruising will be more deep, but I just have to be extra careful at work, I suppose. And magnesium tablets are fairly self-explanatory. It's just keeping my magnesium levels good. So yeah, guys, this has turned out to be a fairly long video, I suppose, at this point. That was the whole shit that's been going on with my medical issues. I am so over it all. I hope that it's all sorted and I won't have to worry about it. I do still have my old medication. It's called metoprolol and flecainide. Metoprolol slows the heart rate and lowers the blood pressure, and I don't really know what flecainide does, but in the off chance that I do have another attack, I take a couple of these pills, and apparently that will sort me out. But I am on the hope and the assumption that I won't have to take these pills. Oh my god. So yeah, very fun medical issues. Wow. Thank you for watching this video, everybody. I am very keen to return to normalcy soon. I will be able to go back to work probably on Monday. They've asked me to chill out and probably not drive for a few days. My leg is still a little bit sore, but it's getting better. And conveniently, I have a doctor's appointment today anyways. I have also been dealing with an ear infection in this ear. About August, I had all kinds of issues with my ear. I had the ear drops that I put in, and I had antibiotics. Antibiotics didn't help, so the doctor gave me eardrops as well. There was one day on Thursday where I believe I put too much in. I was administering the eardrops myself instead of getting someone to help me, and I think I exacerbated the issue. Oh my god. So yeah, I just have a checkup with the doctor about my ear, and then I can also be like, hey, there's something more important. I went for my procedure on Tuesday. So yeah, but that's pretty convenient. I can tell my doctor everything about that. So anyways, guys, I'm good. I should be alright and back to normalcy in a few days. Thank you for watching this video, everybody. I appreciate you, and I will see you pretty soon for Pokemon. I am very keen to record more Nuzlocke. So then, guys, stay healthy, stay happy. I hope you're doing better than me, and I pray to God next year is better for health issues, because my lord, I have been in and out of the hospital more than I have ever been in my life. Wild. Alright then, guys, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!